This past Friday, the House of Representatives passed a bill that would ban certain semi-automatic firearms. Democrats across the nation erupted in excitement, which we haven't seen since quote-unquote safe smoking kits were passed out so the liberals who make our laws can safely smoke crack with Hunter Biden while they try to interpret the Second Amendment and find never-before-seen clauses that say the right of the people to bear arms may be infringed whenever Pelosi and Schumer get a hard-on for taking away rights. In a 217 to 213 vote, the bill will now pass to the Senate. Now, of course, Democrats can't even define what an assault weapon is or care to know that the AR and AR-15 doesn't actually mean assault rifle. Liberals around America are tweeting out praise to the House Democrats for protecting our kids from having to needlessly die from evil maniacs, while those same people are standing in line at Planned Parenthood to get rid of the wretched nuisance they didn't ask for that are camped up in their uteruses. Pelosi went on to say, House Democrats are committed to building safer communities in every corner of the country. To that end, our members have been working on a robust package of public safety bills and have made immense progress in our discussions. Nothing makes a community safer than handing out crack pipes and needles to bums across the country and allowing our border to remain opened. Keep an eye out for open online dictionary sites like Wikipedia and Webster to change the definition of safe to match that of Pelosi's, just like they did with recession and women, in order to appease their progressive overlords. Other upcoming changes in the inherent truths of life will be coming soon as well. And spoiler, there'll be war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, and Ghislaine Maxwell totally committed scooter ankle. So, welcome back to the Crossworks Media Podcast. This is Clayton. I got my my underling next to me, Javen. He's here today. And so we'll just hop right into it. So, like we said, this Friday, the Democrats passed a bill that would ban most modern firearms, semi-automatic. And it's like a 700-page bill, of course. And if you read, I tried to read through it a little bit, and it's a bunch of like, they're trying to define like the certain things and stuff. But what I got of it was that most of the stuff that it'll ban, like the rifles, are like ones with pistol grips, was it detachable mags, or even ones that don't have detachable mags but can hold over 15 rounds and stuff like that. So pretty much most modern guns will be banned from being bought, sold. What is that? Bought, sold, traded. Yeah, traded, imported. Yeah, but it said most of them can be grandfathered in. So I don't know what most of them means.
So like, I'm looking at right here. This is the 1994 assault weapons ban under Bill Clinton, and essentially right here it says, under the assault weapons ban of 1994, the definition of assault weapon included specific semi-automatic firearm models by name and other semi-automatic firearms that possess two or more of a set of features. So if it was a semi-automatic rifle and it had a folding or telescoping stock and a pistol grip, that's an assault weapon. But if it had a folding stock and a rifle grip, it wasn't an assault weapon. A bayonet mount, flash hider, grenade launcher, and then semi-automatic pistols with detachable magazines with two or more of the following. Threaded barrel, barrel shroud, and if it weighed more than 50 ounces when the pistol was unloaded. So essentially, it banned by name like the AR-15, any AK pattern rifles, and then obviously, So my dad bought a Bushmaster AR-15 post-ban, and looks like an old, like when the M16s kind of first came out, looks like that, but there's no threaded barrel, so there's no flash hider, no bayonet lug, solid stock, carry handle, and it has a detachable magazine. So he's got an AR-15 semi-automatic, and his two features are detachable magazine and a freaking pistol grip. So, but what happened is all the guns made before that were grandfathered in. So it stopped the import and the manufacturer of those guns, which does literally nothing. And then it's kind of the same thing in Massachusetts, like 30-round magazines are illegal unless you have a pre-banned magazine that's serialized, and those things sell for like $400 or something, probably in Massachusetts. So once again, it's the demon rats, trying to assault on our rights, but I don't think it's going to pass the Senate. They'll have to get 10.
Really, you'd have to get 10 Republicans to join them, but
And then
I wouldn't be surprised though that the squishy Republicans, they love to just suck up to the Democrats to feel like they're partisan or bipartisan.
I just don't see how it's going to pass. And if it does, I see states being like, no, I don't care. Like, I would not be surprised if the state of South Carolina, who has like FN, Georgia has a couple other like companies that work here. And if they're just like, yeah, too bad, Palmetto State Armory, we're going to let them keep making these firearms because the federal government can suck it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry. Oof. Anyways, it's one of those things where the government continues to overreach, continues to try to assault our rights. And so like that, I have an SKS, and it has a bayonet, a flash hider, a pistol grip, and a folding stock. That thing is so illegal.
Weapons of war.
But if you have the original one, which is the same action barrel and everything, it's just it has a regular
wood stock.
Yeah. So it's one of those dumb things.
It's just stupid definitions, and even when it comes to like the ATF, the way they define like certain guns that you can't have, like when it comes to like I have an AR. That's what pistol.
AR pistol.
An AR pistol where it has an 11.5 inch barrel, and you can't have a vertical grip on it, but you can have an angled one. As soon as you put a vertical one, it's illegal. And then you can't have a stock, but you can have an arm brace, but the arm brace is like a stock.
Well, you can only brace it against your arm. If you put it on your shoulder like a butt stock, it's supposed to be illegal. So like on YouTube videos, if people are like, you'll see them like they'll hold the stock off their shoulder.
Yeah.
Some people will, and then so it's stupid things like that.
Yeah.
Like, so they're called shoulder braces, but not shoulder braces, but arm brace. So basically, but still, that's just why are short barreled rifles illegal anyways?
I don't know.
Like seriously, and most of the time when people get a short barreled rifle,
so they're more concealable.
I guess I don't know why you'd want that. So usually when people do a short barreled rifle or a pistol, they want to put a AR pistol. They want to put a silencer on it, which pushes it right up past the 16-inch barrel length. But guess what? The stinking silencers, suppressors, I should say, and they're suppressors. Those are an NFA weapon too. So you have to get a stupid pay a tax stamp, and then you have to wait way too long for something that in the movies is completely fake. When you shoot a gun with a silencer on it, it doesn't just go
not dead silent. Yeah,
it doesn't. It's pretty loud, especially on like an AR-15 that's shooting 223 or 5.56. You're going to hear the sonic boom of the bullet cracking the sound barrier.
And I don't understand why the government wouldn't want people to have suppressors. Isn't it in the UK that you like if you have a gun you need a suppressor?
Yeah, or it's like highly encouraged.
Yeah, there's some European country where if you have one you need it, which would make sense. Like with all this talk, they all talk about like noise. Like okay, at my dad's house there's a neighbor that whines about the sound. But I mean, if we wanted to go get suppressors, that stuff is so expensive, and you wait forever.
Yeah, it's like 6 months.
Yes,
but I guess they have like these electronic forms that can take like 2 months or something. But still,
that's what happens when an entire political party gets all their knowledge off weapons from movies. Where they call a semi-automatic a fully semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, the politicians they don't know anything about guns.
They don't know the gun culture. Like there's this, I forgot what the name of the YouTuber is, but there's this one guy who like goes around and he'll like ask people like, oh, do you want to come? Like are you like he'll ask them about guns and he'll be like, oh, I've never actually shot one before. And like, you want to come shoot with me? And he'll like take them to go shoot, and after they're like, oh, dude, that's so awesome, I love this, because they don't have any prior experience with them. So then obviously you're gonna be scared if you've never actually dealt with one.
Yeah, so here's some dumb quotes that the stupid Dems will say about... So, 10 idiotic anti-gun quotes. Well, my shotgun will do better for you than your AR-15 because you want to keep someone away from your house. Just fire the shotguns through the door. That's Joe Biden,
yeah.
Which is illegal. In almost every state, I'm pretty sure every state, including South Carolina, which has, stand your ground and castle doctrine, you can't shoot somebody through your door. Okay, they have to be inside of your house. If you kill someone on your front porch, that's against the law.
That's why you got it. Never mind. Do a little dragon.
And then here's another one. Some of these bullets, as you saw, have an incendiary device on the tip of it, which is a heat-seeking device. So you don't have to shoot a deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.
Oh, my word. Who was that?
This is Patricia Eddington, former Democratic New York Assemblywoman.
What?
She apparently thought that scientists had invented heat-seeking bullets that would be able to alter their course and find their human target no matter where you aim.
It's like the Needler from Halo.
Yeah. These people are completely disconnected from reality. There is such thing as incendiary or tracer bullets, which have like a thermite thing that burns a certain color.
Tracking ones.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like, you would never shoot a deer with that. Like, it would taint the meat and stuff. Yeah, exactly. And they're not any deadlier than a regular bullet. So, and then here's a great one. This is California Democrat State Senator Kevin DeLeon. This is a ghost gun. This right here has the ability with a 30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second. 30 magazine clip in a half second. That is so unintelligible. Let's break this down. This is a ghost gun, which I'm guessing he means an 80% gun or receiver, lower receiver,
yep.
Which is in the United States, you have the ability to manufacture your own firearms and it won't need to be serialized if you keep it for yourself. So there's these things where you can buy, it's a lower receiver for AR-15, Glocks, I'm sure there's other things, and you drill it out, you mill it out on a mill. So they call it a ghost gun because it's untraceable. Anyways, this has the ability with a 30 caliber clip. So 30 caliber, that's 0.3 of an inch.
It's not a clip anyways.
Well, it says with a 30 caliber clip. So a 0.3 of an inch clip. So with a clip, like a paper clip, to dispense with 30 bullets within a half second. That is fast.
That's wicked fast.
That is what? That's 60 rounds a second. There's 60 seconds in a minute. So let's do this right here. Let's figure out the RPM calculator. Unless Clayton can figure it out before me.
No, I'm not
60 times 60, right?
Would that be 3,660?
Yeah. There, I should just add the zero. That's the math, right?
Wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, because 30 bullets in a half second is 60. Yeah, so 3,600 rounds per minute. So apparently this ghost gun is a mini gun, I'm guessing. So these people are stupid. In a 30 magazine clip. And what's a 30 magazine clip? What's a 30 magazine clip?
I have no idea. That's something, they put out new technology every day.
Is it a clip that holds 30 magazines together?
Could be.
I don't know. So this is the Second Amendment only protects the people who want all the guns they have. The rest of us, we've got no Second Amendment. What are we supposed to do? What are you talking about? The Second Amendment is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You know, a militia being necessary to a free state. So it only protects people with guns. No, it protects anyone who wants a gun. So these people are completely stupid. New York, again. Huh. You have something to say?
Well, I was going to say that, like, speaking about the Second Amendment, what they always try to say is that, like, in the Second Amendment where it says a well-regulated militia necessary for a free state.
Yeah.
They always say that the well-regulated part is what they mean by like regulation through laws and banning weapons. That's what I heard a Democrat say that before. That the well-regulated part and well-regulated militia means that like regulating the weapons and stuff they're able to use.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, the whole part, like well-regulated means like prepared, trained.
Like me or you or like I have an AR-15. I have multiple magazines. I have the ability to carry those magazines in some sort of load-bearing equipment.
You mean magazine clips?
Yes, my 30 caliber magazine clips. That's what that means, a well-regulated militia, meaning I know how to shoot, you know how to shoot, we know how to defend our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's about, well-regulated militia. We are the militia. If you're an able-bodied male, you are the militia. Whether you have a gun or not, you are. And if the country calls up the militia, yeah, you don't have to go, but your duty is to go fight in the militia, like they're doing right now in Ukraine, the territorial defense units. Those are like a form of militia. They're not actually under the military, or they weren't. They might be now, but Excuse me. So Michael Bloomberg, I think they're asking him, what's an assault weapon? Well, if it can fire a lot of bullets very quickly, that's a good definition. And then you could argue what a lot is. Okay, let's say 3. If you haven't hit the deer with 3 shots, you're a pretty lousy shot. The deer deserves to get away. Okay, listen. The Second Amendment is not about hunting. They just overthrew a tyrannical government, okay, with cannons, with mortars.
The same weapons the government
yes. Had. And warships. They had massive warships.
Privateers. Where they would literally go pay citizens to go fight other boats and take their loot.
Yeah. Let's look at our boy John Paul Jones attacking England with a ship with guns on it, blowing it up. So these people, man, they're retarded. Look at this. Terry McAuliffe, governor of Virginia. We lose 93 million Americans a day to gun violence. What is it? The population wiped out in 5 days? This is ridiculous. God. Obviously, it was a mistake, but there's fewer than 30 homicides with guns each day. So
yeah, there's if you look at the total year of this 2020, there was 19,000 homicides in the entire year.
Yeah, exactly. So
there's more suicides than homicides, actually.
New York Democrat Representative Carolyn McCarthy uttered what has become a punchline for every joke about ignorant politicians and gun legislation in America in a 2007 interview with Tucker Carlson. One of the elements in her proposal to reauthorize the federal assault weapons ban was a barrel shroud. When Carson asked McCarthy repeatedly if she could describe what a barrel shroud was, she finally replied, "I actually don't know what a barrel shroud is. I believe it's a shoulder thing that goes up." And these are the people we elect to pass laws.
Yeah, that's why it's so dumb when these are the people that are going to be representing our government and making these laws, and you think if you get to that point that you would actually want to know what you're talking about, but half the people that spout useless garbage, they don't know that. Once you start paying attention to this stuff, you'll realize that not a lot of people actually know what they believe.
Yeah.
They don't actually do their own research ever.
Here's Dianne Feinstein holding a AK-47 or an AKM variant rifle, and she's sitting here showing people with her finger on the trigger. This lady should never be anywhere near a weapon. And of course she's scared of them, because people are scared of what they don't understand. If you show people a gun, I have guns everywhere, in my house, my little house. And they're unloaded, but they're not going to load themselves and just start shooting people. It's impossible. So and obviously we were raised in a family that knows guns. It's okay to see a gun hanging up on a wall. It doesn't freak you out when you see a gun in a closet or something under a bed. You know guns, your siblings know guns, my family knows guns, my wife's family, all of them knows guns. And we had a visitor, someone stayed at our house the other day, who was from Switzerland. And Switzerland, the gun laws are obviously a lot more restricted than the United States. And she says she don't think she's ever saw a gun. Or she says, or if she has seen them, they have to be locked up in a gun case in a vault, which is pretty much in Germany, pretty much the whole entire European Union.
Yep.
In places you can have guns, they have to be locked up, and they don't have a Second Amendment. So
America is the only place that does, I believe.
Yeah, where you have a right to use weapons to defend yourself. So, obviously there's every country you can pretty much own guns. That is a fact, but it's 22 caliber rifles or bolt action full-sized rifles. That's it for hunting. So they can regulate all this stuff. Well, she thought it was so crazy because she came into our studio room, and obviously we have guns from World War II. Got a couple of Mosins and I guess an SKS, and they're just chilling, unloaded obviously.
And they didn't stand up and start shooting.
They did not. And she thought it was so crazy. And she's been here for a little while, and she stayed with some other friends. But she's like, the gun culture around here is crazy. She's like, And I was open carrying that day, and she thought it was just so crazy how I can just walk outside carrying a gun and nobody can do anything about it. And I explained to her,
And most people wouldn't even be nervous.
Right. Nobody was nervous. And she was just like, oh, that's so crazy. Like, only the police can do that. And it's like, well, around here, we don't want
trust police.
Yeah, we don't want the police to be the only ones armed. So and she was actually a champ about it. You know what I'm saying? She thought it was really cool. And she's like, I can't literally understand the idea of having a Second Amendment.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool. And she was open-minded about it. And so this is the last dumb quote that is on this list. It is easier for a 12 or 13-year-old to purchase a gun and cheaper than it is for them to buy a book. Barack Obama in 2016. And you know what? That's the only way the Dems can pass this legislation is prey on ignorant people who don't know anything and lie to them like that. He never had to come out and correct that statement. That's false.
And Barack Obama is normally thought of as a smart guy as well.
No, he's an idiot. One of the worst presidents we ever had.
Well, the one we have right now is the worst.
Well, yeah, that's
But
true.
that's surprising they didn't even have the Joe Biden quote about that a 9mm will blow the lung out of somebody.
Well, that was from 2017 article.
Okay,
so there's probably a whole bunch.
There's a whole lot
of
more that they don't have it.
And they're dumber now.
Exactly. And when you guys look at who actually voted for the bill, there was about like 7 Democrats that voted against the bill, and there were only 2 Republicans that voted for it. And I don't know if you guys live over there. Make sure you vote them out. But they are Brian Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania and Chris Jacobs from New York. We can't have quote-unquote conservatives who are going to vote to strip away your rights in a ridiculous gun grab. And after that bill was passed the House on Friday, a Representative Troy Garcia from Illinois went to Twitter and tweeted out.
It was one of his staffers.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I was just. You're banned.
He said, I just voted to reinstate the assault weapons ban. Now it's the Senate's turn to pass it and send it to the President Biden's desk, he said. And this anonymous Twitter account replied, never even heard of this guy, and I won't comply, even if his silly law passes. And the official Twitter account of that Garcia guy tweeted out, commented to that guy, you are borderline retarded. You effing dip bird.
Dip chit.
And he later it got deleted, and later on he came out and said that it was a staffer. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows if it was a staffer?
Knows? I mean, we actually don't know. But so yeah, they're not the smartest people, but I mean, obviously they don't care what their electorates actually believe. But
I think with them trying to pass this assault weapons ban and stuff, what it gives is countries like China to be more apt to, maybe we will say, invade our country on Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? No, but seriously, like World War II, most people, maybe not everybody, knows about how, Japan was maybe thinking about doing a land invasion of the United States, and one of the generals or admirals said, there's a blade behind every there's a gun behind every blade of grass.
yeah,
Well, nowadays it's even more so, and we have the armed civilian populace in the United States is outrageous. I'm pretty sure it's like 80 million people have gun.
yeah, I have it right here where you look at the estimated number of firearms per 100 residents. These are the top 10 countries. The U.S. with 120 firearms per 100 residents, which honestly seems pretty low.
I know.
Compared to everyone that we know. Then you have Yemen, who's second place, all the way down at 52 per person, per 100 people.
Yep.
And then it goes on to Serbia, Montenegro, Uruguay, Canada. Canada actually has 34.
Yeah.
Not bad. Cyprus, Finland at 32 per 100 people. Lebanon and Iceland. And like Javen was saying in a past podcast, that it seems like gun culture is winning, because 19 million guns were sold in 2021, which is the second highest year we've ever had in the U.S. The first highest year was in 2020, which is we sold 21 million.
So 40
Firearms.
million guns in 2 years.
Yep,
Eh?
insane. Which
Nice.
was obviously was higher in 2020 because 2020 was all those riots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
BLM riots. And a study found, and it's not just the same people though, because in 2021 a study found that 7.5 million U.S. adults became new first gun owners from 2019 to 2021.
Yeah.
So I mean, new people are buying guns, and
Well, I think too, like honestly, the United States culture's starting to get back to like the American rifleman type culture. You know, you have YouTube channels like Garand Thumb and all that stuff who like advocate for people to practice with their firearms, you know, for defensive purposes. You know, back in the day, people used them for hunting all the time. They knew their guns, and a lot of people, even me, I don't shoot my guns as much as I probably should. You know, I don't practice with them. But so you have people who, you know, in video games, you know, they people play video games. They see these cool guns they have, and then they're like, "Oh crap! I can buy the, you know, civilian version." Yeah, maybe let's say you wanted a Scar 17 or Scar H, you can buy a Scar 17, which is a semi-automatic version. But so people will buy these guns, and then people want to learn how to use them, train with them, and that kind of brings back the American culture of the American rifleman. You know, historically, we've been a country of American riflemen from the Revolutionary War to on. You know, we through the Revolution, War of 1812,
cowboys.
Civil War. Yeah, so you have all these like these militia members who are militia units who knew how to fight. So it's like a preparedness thing. So people are learning that, and then with that comes people who want to do more like homesteading. They want to, you know, have a garden, raise their own food, you know, get some cows, chickens, etc. And you know, it's a good idea. It's
Self-reliance.
Yeah, hunting. You know, I hunt for meat. I don't trophy hunt. I don't care if people trophy hunt. That's great. Maybe someday I'll trophy hunt, but for the most part, I like hunting for the meat. And hey, what just happened? Recession. You know, we have a recession. We're in a recession right now.
Officially.
So
Officially, unofficially.
You know, people, we have to stop depending on the, you know, the government-run, government-backed systems to feed us. You know, like if your local grocery store misses their truckload because it's like the logistics of grocery markets is insane. You know, each day trucks are bringing in fresh food. Any little bit of hiccup, that stops. So it's good that people are starting to grow their own food, etc. Chickens, cows, and look at the green wing of every political party ever wants to shut it all down. They want you eating cockroaches and crickets because the pollution from farming and all that and stuff. It's
Cow
just,
farts and burps.
Yeah.
And
it's outrageous, people. And you know what? It's hard to have those things in the city or even like a neighborhood I'm in. You know, I can't
like, get out of the city.
I know I can't have I don't think I can have chickens in my backyard unless it's in a like fenced in area or some bull crap like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The thing is people are just so disconnected nowadays from where food actually comes from, especially people in cities. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually thought, you know, food you just go to the grocery store and it's there. You don't actually know where it comes from.
Well, it's like
There's such a massive system that actually like is behind that you don't even realize. You know, it goes all the way back to the farmers who are now being, you know, in a lot of countries being told to stop farming.
Well, it's like the gun issue too. Like people, they're just ignorant. You know, one thing you learn about the Democratic Party is a lot of their voter base is just they don't know much. They don't know a lot of they don't understand life. They don't understand where things come from, how they work. They're just I don't know. They're all just gender studies
majors.
Yeah, exactly. So
bachelor arts degree in 1980s feminist liberal something.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I would get out of the country. I would get out of the country. Get out of the cities, man, because I mean every country except our own is pretty much saying that food shortages are coming, and I would rather not be in a city where a bunch of people who don't even know you honestly don't care if you lived or died.
And you know what? Here's another bit of advice. If you don't own a gun, go buy one. And buy some ammo right now because it's come down a decent amount since last year. Clayton, what would your recommendations for a first gun be?
It depends if it's a woman or a man. Well, are you talking about like for a rifle or a pistol or
Rifle? I would say get a rifle first.
I mean, you could always go with a little 22 for a blinker, but I'd go for a 270 maybe.
I would go for like a bolt action rifle.
Yeah.
I would say go for an AR-15.
Would you?
Just a cheap, Smith & Wesson M&P 15 or a Palmetto State, just cheap AR-15. You can hunt with it. A lot of states will let you hunt with a 223. You can personal defense, and it's a fighting rifle. But you know what? A good bolt action, you can do all that too. I would hate to.
I was just thinking more for hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for preparedness mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can, and you can get a 270 or 30-06, any of those larger calibers, and a hunting rifle for $390, $350. Even comes with a scope, and you can defend your land with a bolt action rifle easily.
I mean, think about bolt actions were used in war for how long?
Forever.
World War II, World War One.
And so like a lot of people who are like armed civilians who, aren't, I wouldn't necessarily like militia, quote unquote, like not necessarily like in a militia, but they're practicing. Like you're not going to be a tier 1 operator, okay? You don't need to have all the high speed gadget. If anything, if like China invades the country, like you
shut down the political grid or the electrical grid or something.
Well, the armed civilian is going to be like rear guard, just watching out for things. You're not going to be kicking doors in and fighting. It's just irritating. But so here's my question: do you think someone should buy a pistol or rifle first?
Well, it depends on what your situation is, because if you're wanting to protect yourself, like you live in a bad neighborhood, I'd probably rather get a pistol. And if you're a lady, I would go for a Smith & Wesson Shield EZ, probably 380.
Yeah.
A lot of, like my aunt, she can't pull back the slides on most pistols.
They're pretty stiff.
Yeah,
the 1911s.
Especially when you get a new one.
Those 1911s we have, those things are stiff.
But those Shield EZs are wicked easy to pull back.
They're almost like
easy. It's in the name, folks. But yeah, I'd go for that. Probably most likely a 380. Something you could go get. You can get purses and stuff where you can put a concealed carry. A little slot in there. If I was a guy, I don't know. Most guys' first guns are normally Glocks for their pistol.
I would not recommend a Glock. I'm not a Glock fanboy.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're a guy, honestly, if you're going for a concealed carry gun, I would go for the P365 Sig Sauer. I'd go for that.
I don't know. One thing.
Taurus.
I think one thing is I would rather have a gun that I could confidently shoot at a longer range and have it be a little bit bigger. So I like my Taurus G3C, and people will hate, oh, it's a freaking Taurus.
It's like, if you don't have a lot of money, like you could buy that.
They're bigger.
They're a lot cheaper than the 365.
I like the 365. Like it's small.
How much was the G3C?
I got mine for like $270.
Yeah,
they went up now.
365 was 700 something.
No, it wasn't.
No, 600. That's what it's 600. Because the Glock 43X, which is another good carry gun, was 500.
Yeah, and honestly, I think I like the G43X better because I like the bigger grip. I have huge hands.
Yeah. Well, you can get the 365 XL.
XL, yeah, I know.
You could get that. You've never even held that.
Yeah, I've held it in the store.
Oh.
But at that point, I'd rather just open carry my 1911. Okay, and you know what? People will be like, you freaking boomer FUD gun. Listen, if there's one gun, people say it's the operator, not the gun. No, the 1911 makes you a better shot.
You get a Kimber.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a Kimber or not. They're very accurate firearms. Plus, and you get it in that good 45 cartridge.
Or 10 mil. Well, it's a 2-time world champ, man. 2-time World War champ.
Yeah, the 1911.
Yeah.
Still going strong.
For over 100 years.
And it's just a fantastic. They're heavy, they're big, they don't recoil that much, but anyways, just little talks about some guns. But
yeah. Anyways, we'll probably wrap up this episode right here. We've been going for about 35 minutes, and this was kind of a more ramble on episode, but we do have plans for most likely be doing like a series, kind of like a little multi-part series that'll be coming out on Mondays. We'll do like a Thursday, like a regular news.
Yeah, like Thursday current events.
Monday will be the series episode.
Yeah.
And should we tell them all about it, or just do it like a little bit? Tell them a little bit what the main idea.
No, let's keep it a mystery. Because
Okay.
when I tell them, I wouldn't mind even doing an episode on what we're going to be going over.
Okay, yeah.
So
We'll have an upcoming series. You know, it'll be a little multi-part. I don't know exactly how long it'll be, but
it's going to be lit.
it should be pretty good. But yeah, just keep following, like and follow the show, share it with your friends, and remember the cross works.